Fast cars go vroom. At least that's the theory Dodge is going with. What an absolutely crazy idea. Let's make a noisy EV. Why not? It'll be fun. And when I think noisy, I think Mark from the Tesla Life because he likes to have fun. So let's have a chat about all this. I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Raza. Oh, so I was online chatting with Mark the other day, and he said, "Have you seen this story?" And I said, that again. That old chestnut." But,
yes, indeed.
they're making something. Let's not be too cynical. I mean, I'll be cynical, don't you worry. But what we've got here is an EV with really good specs, 600 plus horsepower. Yeah, and they've been tweaking the sound to get it nice and stupidly loud, I suppose. They've changed it 100 times. I mean, that's got to be something.
What's
So
going on here, Brian?
what?
Why is an EV have to be loud like that? Okay, I get it. Nobody else is doing it. It's something unique that they could go with. Maybe it's a thing to draw in the muscle car crowd. Does it have to be loud? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't. It's something that's completely different, and it may work for them. Who knows? Maybe they can get some converts from their normal gas engine charger to come over because they've got an electronic car that makes electronic noises. I I don't know.
it would be different to me if it made electric car noises instead of fake gas car noises. So I saw this at, I don't remember, one of the shows, maybe the Detroit Auto Show or CES, somewhere I saw this car, and it looks production ready. The proportions are right. It's not too low. The wheel arches are the right size. It's going to look, I'm confident, quite a bit like this. Maybe not exactly, but close. And it's fine. But let's talk about performance, huh? This is going to be a sub 4 second 0 to 60. That's pretty good, right?
Yep,
Now,
absolutely.
just for fun, which one do you suppose is faster, a Plaid or this?
Just for fun, of course, the Plaid is faster.
Of course. Well, what about a Plaid Model X?
The X would be faster.
Yeah. What what about Model Y performance?
You'd be getting close, but I still think the Model Y.
Yes, and the Model 3 performance, of course. In fact, a P85D is faster. So that's
This is their first kick at the can, though. This is their first full EV, correct?
yes, and they take Scat Pack quite literally because this turd is not fast for an EV. It's so what they're proposing to do is have two things that make it like a rumbly muscle car, and one is the sound. It'll have they gave it a goofy name. Where is it? It's the Fratzonic chambered exhaust system, which is a tube similar to an exhaust pipe in which they place a speaker. So that's great. And you can turn it off because it's not real. And then of course, if you're gonna have the Fratzonic chambered exhaust, you have to also make the car vibrate.
Of course. That makes complete sense.
Which is, hey, ladies, if that's what you need to feel like it's a real muscle car, what a bunch of jiggly dudes. So, I don't know. It seems pretty magical to me, and I don't think it's magical in a good way. But I did have something I wanted to point out about this. I don't think you can make this car do this. I don't think it's going to be legal. Because while you're required by law for your EV to have a noise at low speed, it is illegal to have a boombox. You cannot have a factory boombox. And if this is a custom sound that goes outside the car that is not required or part of the operation of the vehicle, I don't think you're going to be allowed to have it.
That's interesting because Tesla did try this at the beginning, correct? And they were told by the government officials that they had to remove it in a vehicle. It could not be driving on the road and making these noises that were not required by the vehicle to make these noises. So they had to actually update their software and remove it completely. And now that only works when the car is in park.
That's right. Not even just stopped. It has to be in park to use any external sound other than the standard low speed audible indicator. So I don't know what they're doing, what they're thinking, but this, I hope they ban it, because it even joked in the article that, oh, they should you can still wake up your neighbors with, and it said, and another one I saw said it'd be like 126 decibels, which is quite loud, which is as loud as the Hellcat would be if you had one of those instead.
Do you remember that third-party company, Brian, that made an exhaust system for the Tesla at
No,
one point?
no.
They had both a single exhaust model and a dual exhaust model, but it's definitely a company that that appeared in the early days of the Model 3's release, and it was something that I thought was very strange. That there they are. Yep, it's it's
$3,200.
it's not cheap, and again, it's an aftermarket part, which is maybe why it can get by the regulations, because this is something that somebody would buy and put it on themselves after the fact that the vehicle was sold to you.
That is so magically dumb. That is dumb on levels that I can't quite wrap my head around. So magical. And why would you want, like, I can get why one person would want a thing, but I can't customize my horn, but Dodge can make a dead silent car rumble loudly. That's ridiculous, you guys. Come on. Now the Charger weighs, and I don't have it. There was a post on X that showed all of its specs, including the weight, and it is something like 800 pounds heavier than a Model Y, I think. It's a very heavy car, and it's got a 100 kilowatt hour battery,
Yep.
but only 317 miles of range, which is not great. There are some elements missing, is I guess what I would say.
But it is Dodge's first kick at the can. So it's something that they're going to try out. I don't think it's going to be all that successful when it comes to drawing in new people into the EV segment. I think they might have it kind of incorrect their calculations as to what somebody wants in an EV. But hey, I'm willing to let them try and see if this new make some noise and vibration works for the EV crowd. Not sure it's going to, but let them try.
It is unfortunate, but I agree with you, though. If this was their first car and it was 7-8 years ago, this would be a compelling offering. But either way, it is their first serious offering in the US, at least. I'm sure Stellantis has EVs in Europe, but not ones that would be necessarily compelling to American consumers. So yeah, 650, I've seen 650 to 700, 670 horsepower. It's fine. It is all-wheel drive, which makes sense. It'd be better than making it just a rear-wheel drive muscle car. I think you'd have some problems with it. And I think at the very least, it'll convince a lot of motorheads to at least consider going electric, because there are people who would love the speed and safety of an EV, but for some reason have some kind of either brand loyalty or mental block that tells them, no, I can't get one of those computer cars. I need something that's bright yellow or cherry red. I don't know.
And the other unique feature of this car is it's going to be made in Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, well, we did that for you.
And I appreciate it, Brian.
Yeah. It'll be fine. What would you do differently if you were the Dodge designer? Because I'll tell you, the first thing I would do is I'd go a little cooler on the styling. I'd make it a little bit less last year's Charger and a little bit more everything else's Charger, the future.
I do have to say though that I enjoy the front hood scoop. You can't be seen very well in the photos, but underneath that grill, you've got a open section that goes right onto the hood of the vehicle, and it looks pretty cool when you see it up front. It's it's definitely something that is unique to the Charger look, and I think is a winner when it comes to that look.
Oh, down in the, I see what you mean. No, that does look good. And the air can flow right through the front, right?
Correct. Yes.
So that basically becomes a fin.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you've got a front
There you
spoiler
go.
basically.
Yeah, that is something new and interesting. If you're not using that space for a giant motor, oh gosh, it's not going to have a frunk, is it?
Nope, it won't.
Ah, ah. Well, again, first effort. If you saw the original Model S, the frunk was quite small. It took years for them to expand it to the size it eventually became as they improved their design and simplified things and got it all compressed a bit better. It
And don't forget the nose cone on the original S.
had a fake grill.
it's something that was dated right away. But this vehicle looks a little bit better on the front, I would say, than the nose cone. I wouldn't say it's better than what Tesla currently offers, but it certainly beats the nose cone.
I would say that Tesla original Model S with a fake grill had to convince people it was still a car. And as people got used to the idea, they could get rid of the fake grill and move forward from there. But this, love it or hate it, you have to recognize that is a design. That is a conscious decision that at least adds some flair, some uniqueness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tells people what's going on. It's funny. It would look more like a Mitsubishi 3000 GT if it didn't have the front spoiler with that low scoop just by itself. You know someone's going to modify it to chop that off at some point
Oh yeah, definitely.
after they accidentally bump into somebody's trailer hitch and wreck it. Oh well, chop it off. Got some of that Bondo I could borrow? So guys, if you get a chance, would you do me a favor? Would you go over to the Tesla Life and check out Mark, see what he's up to? Who knows? I don't watch it. I find the show to be lowbrow and just unsophisticated, and all the hosts are just, oh man, they're the worst. No, I love it. It's a great show, and they have fun. Not this much fun. This is an unusual amount of fun. But what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What kind of tone should an electric supercar have? Should it just be running, like a I always wanted customizable drive tones. I wanted Jetsons. I wanted Fred Flintstone feet. I wanted TIE fighters. All those things would have been better. You cannot have them. The no fun police have spoken. So I'll be curious to see if this becomes street legal in that configuration, because it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. So yeah, let us know in the comments what we missed, and like, subscribe, do the usual things. Do what you got to do. And stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots very, very soon, perhaps even on the Flippity Flop.